Hey there, Ted.
What's happening? I love that intro music so much.
It sounds so official. Well, you're welcome to Unleashing Your Potential with Ted Bogert,
That's
Coach Ted
me,
Bogert.
the coach, the one and only. Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Yvonne, did you have a good weekend?
I did. Celebrating St. Patrick's Day yesterday at the castle. It was wonderful. I love seeing businesses thrive.
Yes, me too.
It's such
That's
a great
all
feeling.
about. I just did a post this morning about that. I noticed you commented. I haven't been a chance to reply, but yeah, I just think I call people out on not referring business to their friends or trying to figure out how to help or promote. And you posted something underneath it that I thought was great. And so I'm a big believer. I hate that thing. It's business. It's not personal when it's coming to referring business. And so I just think that we could do a much better job as a whole. You and I do it, but a lot of people could do better.
Absolutely. I think a great part of what coaching and what you and I are doing and others in our field is that we are supporting people to get what they deserve.
Yes.
And it's hard to do so. Believe me, it is not something that I think it's innate to anyone is asking for business. And, you know, I've had people even say to me, even recently, on Facebook, I had posted something and people had come back at me and said, oh, well, why do you have to ask for business? Shouldn't you just be getting everything by referral? And I said, well, getting a referral is because you asked.
Yes.
This whole thing about organic. I have a new little catchphrase. Organic is for farmers. Okay. I'm not a farmer.
No, hey Juliana. I'm not I get it. I don't like that thought process either. I feel like because guess what? Those people who are getting things organically, they're still doing something to do it. And probably, and in their organicness, they're asking. They may not frame it that way, but they're asking for the business. I mean, I agree with you though. Yes, let's just bless and release and all the good things will come to me. And,
Part of it.
There's an action. There's always got to be some sort of action on our part.
Absolutely. And the thing I pointed out is, and to this individual is that, there are people that a lot of people mentor, which is Gary Vaynerchuk. And he had written a book many years ago called Jab, 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 Right Hook. And that is about bringing value. And then the right hook is the ask for business.
Correct.
It is part of the formula. And you're going to get when you ask, the squeaky wheel. And it's all in how you do so.
Yeah.
It's about setting expectations. So, yes, always come from contribution, always.
Yes.
And yes, business will come to you, but it's only because of efforts, not because, and even the law of attraction, which I do believe in. I am a person who is about manifesting, but manifesting takes action and action begets action. Yes. So it's all intertwined. And anybody who says otherwise is not really seeing the full picture.
Well, everybody comes, there's so many people out there, especially about this next topic or this topic we're going to talk about some today. And I just feel like, wow, people are taking and being opportunistic, which I'm not against, but opportunistic in creating a whole bunch of irritation and aggravation and misinformation without any point other than popping the popcorn and watching where all the cards fall. So,
yeah.
So we're going to talk about this.
So this is directly, and I want everyone to know, I cut and pasted this from the email that was sent to me by the NAR and the National Association of Realtors, NAR, however you want to call them. So that this is verbatim. This is nothing that we have changed the verbiage on. It's exactly what you would have gotten from them. So, seeing that this has been the huge topic over the weekends, I wanted us to address it and why this is even more so important. It always has been, but why it's even more important to have a coach, a guide, a mentor in your life and business. So, Ted, what do you think about this?
So My overall reaction to this is yet another change in an ever-changing industry. I am very thankful for the people who are out there who are saying, calm the F down, relax a little bit. Let's get all of our ducks in a row. Nothing has been, there's still things that have to be worked out on this. And if you these are the same, the good people are focusing on, all right, well, let's shift. Let's figure out what shift looks like. Working with their coach. If you don't have a coach, you should have a coach. Working within the boundaries of what they know. But in all honesty, Yvonne, you still want to do business as you do business. It's just going to be a little bit of a different way. And we still don't know exactly how that's going to look. So be educated, but not Chicken Little. And so having a coach, having somebody who can set up, look at your processes. We talked about this last week or the week before. Back to basics. Look at the things that you did in the past that work, and focus on those, because those are almost never changing. They don't change. The good stuff just doesn't change. So
absolutely,
this is just another distraction. Yes, it's going to have to adjust, but we still don't know how. So why let that put you in a complete inactivity mode and analysis paralysis, and the sky is falling and the real estate industry is over and all of that, what I consider BS, and really focus on the things, get back to your basics, work with a coach, and let's talk about what actually works rather than what might not work in the future.
Exactly. And the second, there was multiple parts. They talked about settlement money and things like that. But these were the two takeaways that everyone's been talking about. The second one is being the written agreements for MLS participants acting for buyers. And, this goes right back to how we started the show talking about organic this and organic that. Yeah, you're going to have to, be able to speak on your own behalf. And I'll tell you, it's not as easy as people. That's why people are flipping out a little bit, is because they don't have that skill set for the ask, yes. and that they've really been relying on these built-in parameters inside of a contract to solidify what their compensation was going to be. Now buyers are going to have that compensation spelled out, and that's an ask. And people don't feel comfortable with that. And that is not a good business practice. You should be comfortable with it.
It's not. And you're absolutely right. You have to digest this in a way that you're able to regurgitate it, repeat it, know it, and understand it, because you are going to get buyers and sellers, both sides of the transaction, asking you about it. So why would you ever want to go, well, I don't know, I'm not going to make any money, so I probably won't be in this business any longer, and I'm going to make $100. Like the thought process of putting that negativity out there when you're talking to your buyers and sellers just is ridiculous to me. But on the flip side, you have savvy buyers and sellers who are going to ask you the question and have done their research and want to know what your response is. So it's very important that you understand what's going on. And it's very important that you have a response that is honest and authentic and all those good things, but that is able to address whatever their main concerns are. But in reality, if you're a good salesperson, a good person who's working with other people like this, you're used to addressing objections. And so yes, if this comes up, address the objection, but figure it out. Don't go into it, well, I don't know either. I just applied down at Home Depot. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do. I had one of the people that I coach reach out to me over the weekend. Gosh, Ted, I don't know if I'm going to stay in the industry. I'm like, oh my God, this is exactly when you should stay in the industry, because it's going to weed out a lot of people that, in my opinion, have been needed to be weeded out. So figure out your profession. It's a profession. You should know how to answer these questions without sounding like Debbie Downer.
Know your value.
Know your value.
Know your value, set your expectations. That is something, whether you are in business or in life, your personal life, those two things go for both of those. Know your value and set expectations. Your coach, who's working with one, is going to affect your personal life just as much as your business life.
Yes.
So, think about this. If you've been in bad relationships, or you've been in bad situations and choosing the wrong friends, or if you have children who are choosing bad relationships or bad friendships, imagine what you're going to learn that you're actually going to put in place, not only your life, possibly in your friends and family lives, and in your business. Because this is something that's like, I love this. I love the shake up, because what it does is it helps give people tools that they need that will strengthen their life and their business. It's all very exciting, and you should be excited, people, that this is, that things are going in your favor and giving you a little kick. And that kick is only to help you grow.
Agreed. And one of those leaders that I mentioned to you earlier, he said, and I liked this, that now is when we're going to see what models work, what real estate models work, what brokerages and their setups work, what teams work, what lead gen works. This is where we're really all going to see whose model in all of those arenas actually works. And I love it, because I think all it does is create more opportunity. That's how I view the whole thing.
I love it. And, I have to say, on a personal note, my business since Friday has been blowing up. People have been reaching out saying, oh my gosh, I haven't solidified my relationships with my past clients. And I know that if I had done that, this is all going to be a moot point. I won't have to think about, negotiating my commission or any of that, because I have such a solid foundation by speaking to people in my database and sphere. So now is the time I've got to do this. I'm not even kidding how things have been unbelievably on fire.
That's why you hire a coach. That's why you hire a coach.
Right.
Because that person has the tools and I'd love for you to hire me as your coach. There's the ask. Arnaldo, that's a great question. So my first reaction to that, at first, I don't know much about how that impacts commercial. This is very residential driven. That's what the discussion's been about. However, you are going to have to speak to it, because you're going to have your clients still asking you, how is this going to impact? So I'd like to get the answer for you to that and get back to you, but I have not heard anyone be talking about commercial at all.
I've actually heard it. Melanie had said something about that. It's always been a commonplace in the commercial world that people would be negotiating their fees, and buyer representatives also have already been put in that position. It's a kind of a different operating system in the commercial world. Right. But if anyone's out there who is a commercial agent would like to address that, please do. I'll
take a poll. I'll find out for you, Arnold, because that's a really good question. That's a really great question.
Absolutely. So, I wanted to talk today about 5 reasons why working with a coach, and specifically Ted. I really want to hone in on Ted, because Ted has got some unique things that he brings to the table. He is much different than myself or any of the other coaches to Leverage 365. Each one of them have their own unique set of value proposition, and I want to bring that to the table. So with Ted, we have a follow-up.
I love it, Arnold.
There you go. The CRE in commercial real estate, we're used to having a rep letter in place, but the commission rates typically are 6%. So yeah, it just sounds like maybe you have negotiation room for even more. Always think the positive, yes, right? Rather than the negative. Your value proposition is so important, Arnaldo. It really is. Yes. It goes for everyone, but I seem to be a little bit even more so in commercial real estate. So 5 reasons, and Ted's going to speak to these. I'm going to go from 5 to 1. So from 5, the 80-20, and I want to talk about what the 80-20 means. It is 80% of your business is going to be mindset. 20% of your business is the mechanicals. The email campaign, or the postcards, or the face-to-face events. Those are mechanical things, right?
Yes.
The mindset, though, is 80%. If you don't have anything in place to address the 80% of your business, which is in this case mindset, you're failing your business. You don't have all your ducks in a row.
Well, I think people the very first bullet point there, not having clarity about what's important. If you're just throwing a whole bunch of ish against the wall and wanting to see what sticks, then you really don't have the right mindset to be productive, and you're not being intentional with your time. I have a lot of experience in this, doing it the wrong way and having learned how to do it the right way or the better way. And so I feel like I know I bring a lot to the table when it comes to really honing in on what it is that's important to you, what's worked in the past, what you think might work, but coming up with a very strategic plan, but always having the mindset of, is it intentional? Is it an IPA like we've talked about before, an income producing activity? Think in your mind all the time about how you're spending your time, who you're spending it with. There's that great book, The 5 People You Hang Around. I mean, there are so many things that when I'm coaching, I'm talking to people, those are the things that we get down to. And mindset really, really sets everything up for how you're going to be successful, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Many of us are saying yes to too many things, not setting proper boundaries or expectations. Exactly, case in point, what's going on with the new proposal settlement, and spending too much time doing things the wrong way. These are all reasons. Number one, like I said, number one, it's 80% of your business. You need somebody who's going to be that person who's going to help you get through 80%. And then, of course, Ted's going to hold you accountable.
You think I'm a nice guy. No, I really, I really am. I am a nice guy. But when it comes to accountability, I understand the importance of having that accountability check, that accountability partner. Because if you don't have that, then all I am is your friend that you're going to talk to. And I'm going to go, oh, well, that's too bad this week. That's not how this works. Coaching is completely different. The approach is different. And the accountability makes you stronger. You have to not look at accountability as a negative word. It has such a negative connotation out there. And I feel like accountability is so critical when you're working with a coach. When you work with me, I'm going to hold your feet to the fire. Why? Because I helped you create the plan. We created this plan together. We are working together for the same goal. And I'm here to help you get across the finish line to whatever that looks like. So the accountability is very, very important. Don't worry, there's no whips and chains involved. And I'm not going to shackle you up and torture you. None of that stuff. But I am going to hold you accountable. And I think that is key to making sure that your coaching sessions are successful.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a client the other day who said that they had worked with a coach and it was a little too brutal for them. And I said, that's not really on the coach. That's really on you, because if during your discovery, when you're interviewing, that you're both interviewing each other, if that person, was coming across that way, then you allowed it. You allowed that coach into your life. Now, if they were completely different during the discovery call, then maybe you'd have a leg to stand on. But, every coach is different. It has to be a fit. Now, if you know Ted and you've taken time with him and you've sat with him, you already know who he is. You already know this is a good match. It's just a matter of you pulling the trigger and helping yourself.
And that's what I want to do. That I want to help. And I have all of this knowledge, these resources at your fingertips because you're one of my coaching clients. I just think it's so important to have a coach, 100%.
Absolutely. And this is the objective feedback, evaluating your strengths and weaknesses, a realistic look at what's working, what's not working, and more importantly, how Ted can help you to shift gears for those optimal results.
Yes. And a lot of people, like so many people, actually countless people say, gosh, I would love to learn how you do what you do. Well, here's your opportunity to do that, because I'm going to take what you want to accomplish, pour in my resources and my experience, give you the feedback, help you with mindset, help you with the clarity on everything. And what was the second one? The one right before it. But coming up with this plan, the accountability. But you know who I am. I'm still going to be loving but strong. I was a parent. I have 3 kids. I mean, I understand how this works.
Right.
But having the feedback, objective feedback, is so critical. understanding why this worked, why it didn't, what the strength is, what the weakness is. I hate that word weakness, but we all have them.
Oh, of course.
I love what this says, a realistic look at what is working for you. That's where a lot of people fail. They think that just doing so much by osmosis, they're going to win. They're going to achieve their goal, and it just doesn't happen like that.
They're going to organically do it. They're going to just think about it, and it happens. Well, I want everyone to know this is a marriage between Ted as a coach and Leverage 365, systems and process-based company. We bring the two, and we married the two so that Ted can be there to coach you, to be in the trenches with you, and you're having a system and process through the coaching, which is he's going to be doing this with you through Zoom. You're going to have recorded sessions. You're going to have a walk away with a tangible at the end of your session. This is very formalized. I don't want anyone to think that this is going to be just you and Ted chatting. No, this is going to be a formalized process, and it's something you need to know, because I want you to know what you're getting involved in. You're getting into a coaching scenario. Very, very, really important that you know that. And this is something that Ted brings to the table. It's very different than the other coaches or that any coach you've ever come across. Ted's marketing expertise, okay? He's at top of his game. He's got a ton of industry experience, what works, what used to work, and what's even going to work into the future, because he's using these things. He's taught me many of the platforms, including the one that we're on right now, which is called StreamYard. I did not know anything about this platform until Ted brought it to me. So this is where he really stands out in terms of what you need in your business, what I needed, and he helped me. So Ted, talk about that.
Yeah, thank you for that. I think that it's so important that this goes back to the evaluation part again, where we're all kind of talking, being intentional. We have to know what you've done. And I have all of the experience, no matter what your industry is, real estate a ton, but I also have nonprofits and foreign businesses and things like that. I think it's so important to have somebody who understands how to capitalize on the marketing opportunities that are right in front of your face on social media platforms, on platforms like StreamYard, in groups, in private events, in Zoom events. There are so many ways that you can go about it. The problem that most people have is they like to do one and they're going to try it till they die. And whether it works or doesn't work, that's the one they know. And by God, that's the only thing they're going to do. And so they never step out of that one process that is obviously not garnishing or gaining them the following or the success that they want. And so I have all of this marketing expertise, over 30 years worth, that I bring to the table. And why is that important? Because I have most likely tried everything that you could want to try in every arena across the board. And I can tell you what I have seen work. I can also help you tweak something that maybe you have worked on that probably is a good premise, but that you need to refocus on how you do it and really kind of reformulate it. So the marketing expertise is there. Yvonne's right. I touch on all sorts of things. If I'm working with someone right now, they're like, how do you have all of these people on Pinterest? Don't even get me started, but the marketing opportunity there is huge for this particular person. And I know how to work Pinterest. So I have a broad range of marketing expertise for sure.
And I totally agree. And the thing is also, number one, and this is, to me, is number one, fresh perspective. Okay, Ted is going to be that, just like the objectivity that we talked about earlier. He's bringing new ideas. The two minds are better than one is a saying for a reason, people, because it's true, right? A coach is going to help you to see solutions that once you feel you may have run out of solutions. For this reason and this reason alone, this is the number one reason we work with Ted. He has his finger on the pulse of so many things. It's really, I mean, we can't even get into in the short amount of time we have. But you're going to have that time with him. And that is going to be something that, like I said, other people cannot bring to the table. And I think it's really unique. What do you say to that, Ted?
Thank you for that. Yeah, I do have my finger on the pulse. People say all the time, I don't know how you do it all. Well, the reason that I do it all is because I have been through it all and I have seen the things that I should do and I've tweaked them along the way. And so I know I can be a resource for that, the fresh perspective. I had a friend of mine who I can't call him a coaching client yet, but I'm working on that. But he had asked me about what I know you probably don't know anybody, Ted, but I'd really like to get involved in the Black community. I also had somebody ask me about the veterans community. Well, immediately I rattled off 10 different places you should try, what you should do. Here's what worked for me. And I think it's so important to work with a coach who understands that. If you work with someone who has only ever done one thing, they've only focused on one thing, one track, one particular process, and they're trying to squeeze you into that process or squeeze you out of your process, that's not the right coach for you. And I feel like that my perspective absolutely is a myriad of things all put together, and I can touch on countless ways for you to be successful.
I love that. I mean, if you're out there, you're listening to this and you see Ted, and I know you're going to see him, can you please ask him more about his program? Because I know that a lot of you are getting such great perspectives, and the time you spend with him, I know you're walking away with some really valuable nuggets, but why not take it to the next level? Why not have a more formalized growth experience with your business with Ted? Have that one-on-one time that I know that you're seeking, but have it at a higher level, have it at a more deeper level. Talk to him about his program if you really want to go forward. And if you're serious about this, there's a QR code right there at the bottom of the screen, and there's also going across the scroll where you can go to find more information. This is really important.
I agree.
It's a 15 minutes of your time. It's a discovery call with myself. I will go through Ted's program to see if it's a good fit. We already know it is, but of course, let's do the obligatory 15 minutes, get you signed up and started. That's all it takes, 15 minutes. Love for you to do that. And Ted, I look forward to this week. We're working closely together with our free coaching sessions. We have free coaching sessions, which I know people are coming to, but I want them to have that experience. So come on down. You can go to Get Leverage 365 at the top of the screen. You'll see mastermind sessions. You click on it. You'll see all the upcoming free sessions that get to have you experience Ted in the flesh, as they say. And you can then take it from there. Ask him, ask me more about his program. It is really an opportunity for you to spend time, get some knowledge, share some knowledge, and also go forth in building your business.
This is the year. Lots of stuff going on. It's time. Alan, do I have a second to piggyback on one thing you just said?
Sure.
You all get a version, and I am giving at those meetings that we have, but there's a whole nother level that you all haven't experienced unless you're a coaching client of mine. And so we do go deeper. We go much, much, much deeper. And we definitely cater it to you, and my attention is on you. So just what Yvonne said is absolutely true. You get me at lunch or at these free coaching sessions, that's one thing, but the deep dive, that's where it's really going to take your business to the next level.
Absolutely. Well, I enjoy my time always with you. I'll see you this week. And once again, use QR code, everyone, and have that 15 minutes of you time just to get your business rock and rolling.
Awesome.
See you soon.
See y'all later.
Bye. Okay, I got to jump. I have a call. But thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.